I've always loved the silence of a coastal town in the off-season when the tourists have left, leaving behind empty streets and a desolate boardwalk, like the skeletal remains of a once vibrant summer. My name is Emma, and for me, late night runs along that wooden path were a way to wash away the pressures of life. The steady rhythm of the waves, the soft thud of my shoes against the worn planks, it all blended into a soothing lullaby, making me feel as if the whole world belonged to me alone. I was never afraid of the dark, or of solitude. In fact, I found peace in it. But that night changed everything, leaving behind a fear I would never escape. That night was no different from the others, at least at first. The air was crisp, carrying the distinct scent of salt and damp wood. Sparse streetlights flickered weakly along the boardwalk, casting long, lonely shadows on the planks. I had run about a mile, with one earbud in, when a strange sensation crept up my spine, that inexplicable feeling when you just know you're not alone. I glanced over my shoulder. Far in the distance, a man stood motionless on the boardwalk, facing me. He didn't move, didn't shift, just stood there, like a statue in the night. I swallowed hard, telling myself it was nothing, probably just a local out for a late-night walk. But no matter how I tried to rationalize it, the sight of him made my skin crawl. I kept running, trying to shake off the unease. But minutes later, the feeling of being watched returned, stronger this time, like an invisible hand tightening around my chest. My heart pounded, not from exhaustion, but from a growing, unshakable dread. I couldn't help myself. I looked back again. He was closer, still motionless, still just staring. A chill ran through me. I picked up my pace, my footsteps slamming against the wooden planks, my breath coming faster. But every few seconds I could hear it, the sound of footsteps behind me, matching my rhythm exactly, like an eerie echo I couldn't escape. I turned my head a third time, even closer, but he never moved while I was watching. That was what drove me insane. How could he get that much closer, yet stop so suddenly? I broke into a sprint. The boardwalk, once my sanctuary, now felt like a trap, stretching endlessly in both directions, offering no escape. My car was parked at the end of the path, near the beach entrance. If I could just reach it, I'd be safe. I ran with everything I had, my lungs burning, my legs screaming. I didn't dare stop. Every few seconds I turned my head just enough to see. Each time, he was closer, standing still, watching me with eyes I couldn't quite make out. Finally, the exit came into view. I nearly sobbed with relief when I saw my car. My hands trembled as I fumbled for my keys, clumsy with fear, nearly dropping them. At last, the car's lights flashed. I lunged inside, slammed the door, and locked it. I turned the key. The engine roared to life. I threw it into reverse, tires screeching as I backed out. Then, as I shifted into drive and turned the wheel to speed away, I looked up, and he was right in front of my car, standing exactly where I had been just seconds ago. I barely got a glimpse of him. A hood pulled low, obscuring most of his face, leaving no clue about the person beneath. I yanked the wheel, tires squealing as I nearly skidded off the road in my desperation to get away. The whole drive home, I didn't stop at red lights, didn't care if I was swerving, barely registered if I was even on the right side of the road. I just drove, eyes locked straight ahead, refusing to check the rearview mirror. When I got home, I locked every door, every window, every crack where anything could get in. That night, I didn't sleep. Fear clung to me, poisoning every fleeting moment of rest with nightmares, visions of that man, sometimes standing still, sometimes chasing me. In my mind, my imagination twisted his unseen face into something warped and terrifying. Since that night, I have never gone back to running on the boardwalk in winter. What was once my solace is now nothing more than a cold, haunted memory. A place where the darkness hides things I never want to face again. Last summer, when Min, had just turned 22, I went through something that still makes my heart pound every time I think about it. It was a weekend getaway at the shore with my closest friends, crashing in the cheapest Airbnb we could find just to soak up a few days by the waves. On the final night, as the bonfire on the beach flickered out and my friends collapsed from exhaustion, I was still wide awake. The buzz of alcohol lingered in my system, so I decided to take a walk to clear my head before heading back to the rental. Under the hazy moonlight, the boardwalk stretched out with an eerie calm, silent and deserted. I'd hardly ever been to the beach before, so everything felt fresh, captivating, pulling me deeper into the night without a care for time. Then it hit me. I needed to pee, badly. I'm not the kind of guy who's cool with going just anywhere in public, a quirk my friends never let me live down. So when I spotted an old, run-down public restroom on the boardwalk, its dim light flickering, I didn't have much choice. I pushed the door open and instantly regretted it. A nauseating stench, a mix of bleach and something rotting, slammed into me, nearly making me gag. Telling myself to just get it over with, I hurried to the farthest stall. But then, the door creaked open again. I froze, irritation flaring as my sliver of privacy vanished. Slow footsteps echoed through the room, deliberate, like someone was prowling around. Oddly, at times it felt like they came from multiple directions, as if more than one person was there. My pulse quickened. Then the steps stopped near the sinks. Dead silence. No coughs, no running water, just an unnerving stillness. I finished up, eager to bolt, but when I pushed the stall door, it wouldn't budge. I jiggled the latch, yanked harder. Nothing. Anger and panic surged. I wanted to punch the damn thing down. Then the footsteps started again. Closer now, too close. A chill shot down my spine. I was sure someone was holding the door shut. Adrenaline exploded through me. I threw my whole body against the door, and it finally burst open, sending me stumbling out. As I caught my balance, I saw the main bathroom door swing shut, like someone had just slipped out. I scanned the room. Empty. Whoever had been pacing around was gone. My hands shook as I quickly washed up and lunged for the exit, but the handle wouldn't turn. It was locked, somehow, from the outside. Full-on panic set in. Was this a prank? Maybe my friends messing with me? But no. They'd all gone back already, and none of them even knew where I was. Besides, this wasn't their style. Desperate, I pounded on the door, yelling for whoever was out there to let me out. No answer. Then, a rustling sound came from behind, one of the stalls. I whipped around. No feet under the doors, but I knew someone was there, maybe perched on a toilet, watching. I wasn't about to stand there and wait to die. Looking up, I spotted a grimy little window near the ceiling. Tiny, but my only shot. I climbed onto the sink, half expecting it to collapse under me, and shoved the window open. As I squeezed halfway out, a stall door slammed open behind me. I twisted back and locked eyes with a man. Wild, matted hair, skin so pale it looked dead. Dressed like a teenager, but easily 50 years old. I didn't waste a second. Scrambling the rest of the way through, I dropped hard onto the boardwalk, my knees smashing into the wood. Pain shot through me, but I didn't care. I ran. When I was far enough away, I called the cops. They showed up fast. It was a beach town after all. But the guy was long gone by then. That stretch of the boardwalk was a ghost town. No cameras, no open shops, no witnesses. I walked them through it all, and one officer pointed at scratches on the door handle, saying it looked like someone had tampered with it. We agreed whoever it was didn't want me getting out, a thought that turned my stomach to ice. The cops praised me for climbing out the window, and that was it. I left the beach the next day, never hearing another word from them. I doubt they dug any deeper. But me, Min, I'll never forget that night, the night I almost didn't make it back.